go and target another gene that is not responsible for the drought resistant, and these genes may crossbreed and result in the formation of super weeds, which inherits the engineered trait and results in the loss of biodiversity. Secondly, when we genetically modify a crop, the plant alters its metabolic pathways and growth patterns, so it may not grow well in normal conditions. And thirdly, I would tell the main disadvantage of bioengineered food is that consumer acceptance. Many people are aware of the health effects of bioengineered food. They say that it may have a very bad impact on human health. And the approval of GM crops are time-consuming and expensive, so it is not appropriate in places to handle where legal frameworks are not in place. And in a developing country like India, farmers practice sustainable subsistence farming, so they can't afford bioengineered crops as they are more expensive, and they cannot use the crops for the next season. Once the crops are run out, they are forced to go and buy the crops to the biotech companies. And there are also concerns that large agricultural corporate companies taking control over small farmers. And many people say that altering the genetic living material of a gene is beyond moral limits, so they are not accepted. These are few ethical concerns of bioengineering in the field of drought and pest resistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Daniel, for this detailed answer. And next we have Ms. Nitya to answer the advantages or disadvantages related to health.
Greetings everyone. The question posted on me is about the health benefits and health concerns of biofortified foods. So let me first explain what biofortification is. So as regards to the world, we know child is going to suffer from nutrition deficiency, and nutrient deficiencies are completely going to become a thing of the past. So this vision is going to become a reality through fortification with bioengineered foods. To say in common, fortification is the process of adding the essential vitamins and minerals to the gene to make it to combat our nutritional deficiency. So one common example for this is adding iodine to soil so that we can prevent poison. So when genetically modified foods and fortification come together, it is going to be a completely advanced process in which food is not just going to be abundant but also healthier. We are going to edit the genetic makeup of the plant so that it can itself produce the required vitamins and minerals which you need. So let me give you some examples of these biofortified foods. Number one is golden rice. Most of you have heard of this. This golden rice was initially produced in the 2000s to overcome vitamin A deficiency. So vitamin A deficiency causes child blindness and child mortality. So to prevent this, there was this golden rice introduced in which beta-carotene, a substance which is a precursor to vitamin A, was induced in this plant. So out of this, what happened? No child was affected after this by vitamin A deficiency, so that child mortality rate was reduced. But this was not initially accepted in India, not because the plant had side effects, but because India is a highly populous country. So here when we are going to develop a new project, it means that it has to accept the economical state of the country. But this golden rice was a little costly, so that it was not able to be adopted in countries like India. But Philippines and Bangladesh have officially adopted this golden rice, and it is being harvested in most countries. The second one is high zinc wheat. So zinc deficiency is related to stunted growth and weakened immunity. So to prevent this, farmers have grown, biotechnicians have grown one such a way in which farmers can grow crops which have high zinc content. So out of this, the reduced weakened immunity will be stopped. So this has been officially accepted in India and Pakistan. As we know, North India completely is based on wheat. So having a high zinc wheat is really very nice because once that wheat has been produced, it can be reshaped with normal wheat. It can be grown by the farmers the same way how they produce the conventional wheat. So this is not going to affect the economy of farmers. They are going to produce a superior crop in nutrient. And the third one is omega-3 tablets. This is the very famous omega-3 tablet. This is mainly produced from fish oil. So the people living in landlocked regions and the people who consume only vegetarian foods feel it difficult to consume this omega-3s. But it is an essential fatty acid fish-based items. This introduction of omega-3s is going to stop that barrier in which only non-vegetarians can consume this. So these are three examples of biofortified foods. But as the question was raised, it also has some side effects. Let me state them as well. So once you're going to have a biofortified food, it is going to completely rich in one vitamin or one mineral or one protein. So in this case, it can also lead to overconsumption of nutrients. You don't have a balanced diet, but you go and consume completely one nutrient, which will also cause some side effects. So consuming food which are rich in fiber can cause bloating, diarrhea as well. And we also have too much of vitamin A consumption can lead to liver issues, and too much of iron consumption can damage our organs. So the main thing is that when you consume biofortified foods, you should completely stick on one biofortified food. When you do like that, your nutrient balance will, of course, it will be affected, right? So biofortified food is a part of a varied diet. It is not going to completely be a diet. It's supposed to have some nutrition deficiency. To combat that, biofortified food is one such solution, but it cannot be completely your food. So I hope I answered your question. It has both health benefits as well as concerns. It is how we consume it. It is how which type of biofortified food you choose to consume for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nitya, for accepting what are the disadvantages and explaining us what is actually biofortification. Now we have Ms. Rahima, Ms. Amrita to answer the health issues of GM food.
The question posted on me was, there is a myth circulating that genetically modified food or GMFs cause health issues. Is that true? First, let me agree, yes, that is true, but only partly true. There have been many studies conducted based on this, and a 900 research paper which was published by NAS, National Academy of Science, has proved that there is no direct link between genetically modified food and diseases. But yes, there is an indirect link, but we'll come back to that later, because let me make this very clear, the health benefits of genetically modified food overweighs the ailments that are caused by genetically modified food. Here are a few things that I want you to know. First of all, the only difference between a genetically modified food and the food you are normally consuming is that one altered gene. Genetically modified foods can be prepared by either of the three methods. One is by inserting a beneficial gene, one is by removing a bad gene, or one is by modifying an existing gene to improve its effectiveness. So we are dealing with only one gene, and that is not an issue. This is one thing. And now you might wonder, what if that altered gene causes health issues? My dear friends, genes contain DNA, and DNA is mostly protein. Our body digests protein. It is not a big deal. The food we eat contains DNA, and just like how it is digested, this altered gene will also be digested, and protein is not stored in our body for long, so do not worry about it. Next, did you know that 100% of the insulin that we are using, it is produced only by genetic modification. So that is a huge benefit. It is saving a lot of people from diabetes. So that is one of the greatest benefits of it. And also, here is another thing that I want to make it clear. We would have all learned in our primary class that food is primarily derived from two sources, plants and animals. So food by itself, it's not dangerous. So you might have a question, when it is modified in labs, what is the issue? We are only modifying the seeds, and then when we plant it, we get the crops. So there is no problem. Now you might ask then why do we say some food causes health issues? Why do some food cause cancer? Let me explain with two examples. Canned food. People say it causes cancer. It does not come from the food, my dear friends. It comes from the inner lining of the can, which contains a dangerous substance called bisphenol A. And another thing is that people say frozen meat, when you consume a lot of frozen meat or preserved meat, it causes cancer. No, it does not come from the meat. It comes from the agents used to freeze it, comes from the nitrates. So, food by itself is not dangerous. Fresh, genetically modified food is much better than processed food. That is one thing I would like to add here. And did you know that currently there are naturally genetically modified food that is grown in Peru and in some parts of India? It's called purple potatoes. It is rich in antioxidants health issues. So what are that? First of all, Europe has completely banned genetically modified food because of one main reason. In Europe, an antibiotic that is used continuously is called ampicillin. Many of the genetically modified food cause antibiotic resistance, and it prevents the ampicillin from showing any effect on the human body. That is the main reason why genetically modified food has not been approved in Europe. And 22 leading scientists have mentioned that it causes issues, and we have not found an answer to that. And it was found that rats which are fed genetically modified tomatoes, they had lesions in their stomach, they had wounds in their stomach. So the scientists found that it was because of gene instability, but they do not know why. So that is also a question mark. And the main thing is that nowadays, to improve lactation in cows, they are injecting it with something called insulin-like growth factor, or IGF-1. This, our body can digest in small amounts, but when we consume it in large amounts, it enters our bloodstream. And it is the leading cause of 3 types of cancer: breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colon cancer. That is the main reason why they are telling that genetically modified food causes health issues. But long-term studies have not been done, because genetically modified food has been around for only 30 to 40 years. So scientists are still studying it, and hopefully we'll have a